whales for once. It's not always dogs. And then one which is about languages in general. The first one's called "The Red Dragon Sleeps with One Ear Cocked," and it actually comes from the people who had the pub in the village from when I first moved there. She used to get quite cross, this lady, if people didn't treat her language properly. And she went to a publican's do that was organised by the brewers, which was in England, and of course most of the people were English. And this is, I put it into a poem, but it is actually, the conversation is true. "Where do you come from?" "From Wales," she said. "And what is your language?" "It's Welsh," she said. "Really?" he asked. "I thought that was dead." Deep in the cave beneath the slate the dragon stirred, stretched his claws and clashed his scales, and the smoke from his nostrils seeped through the slate and covered Wales. The last bit was me, but the first bit was the conversation from the brewers. And this one, does everybody know what hiraeth is?
No.
Hiraeth is an untranslatable Welsh word because it means longing, but not, I mean, we can say, I've got a longing for a really good Sunday lunch or something, but you can't have a longing for a Sunday lunch for a hiraeth in Welsh. It's got to be a mixture of homesickness and longing. It's very emotional and spiritual longing. And so the poem is called Hiraeth Tu, is an untranslatable word. The reason it's two is because Rodina is a Russian word, which is also a bit untranslatable because Russian has two words for motherland and fatherland. The word for fatherland is the one you go to war for, which is based on the word for father, and Rodina is based on the word for birth, and that's the one that makes Russians pine for home. So that's in a way untranslatable as well. So Hiraeth Tu is an untranslatable word. Last night snow descended on the garden and fields and city streets, and spread its mantle like a gentle pardon over all our petty quarrels and deceits. I thought winter had come at last, real winter as in times long past, before life dulled to a grey December, such that I could scarce remember my Russian childhood, when the frozen forest sheltered wolves and bears slept away the winter in their lairs. Rodina is a gift unchosen, biding its time but never lost, and flickering to life in flowers of frost. And then there's one which is called Windows. Oh yes, scrap paper, there's all sorts of rubbish on the back. Windows. Every language is a window opening on another land. When Russian falls upon my ear, or I read Cyrillic print, I see golden cupolas gleaming in a northern sky, and faithful babushkas holding to the faith they never left. I see the red flag flying still, holding to another faith, although it be in tatters and disgrace, and Russia's other face. I see a bear with snowy paws, and Siberia in its soul. Hearing Le Français, I find the friends of Châtenay, who opened there for me not just the window but the door, and let me into that société that with formal courtesy holds at arm's length still the old foe beyond the waves. I wanted to write Je trouve encore, for I cannot think of France in English words, its essence is so French, and I must use les mots français to draw the curtains on the view. Now that I've transplanted my nomadic feet to where Cymru lives and breathes Cymraeg, I see at last through the window on which I tried in vain across the years to draw aside the curtains. Now I've learned enough to hear the old language laughing through its tears, and glimpse what lies beyond the window's frame. May the old language live forever, sing the people in their anthem. With them I sing Yr Hen Iaith, and even for a borrowed land, I understand, Hilary.